Hey, boss. Today I have Eddie and one of the Databricks MVPs. Hi, Eddie.
Hi, Yusuf.
I'm super happy to have you. If I'm not wrong, you're the fifth MVP I interview this year. So tell
Impressive.
us more about you, about your role. Like, enlighten us.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank you for having me on the show, first of all. And my name is Eddie. I'm the CTO at Coine. We this week it was announced that the Databricks Ventures invested in Coine. So we've been around for about 3 years, and during that time we've serviced about 400 customers, and we're trying to grow like crazy. We're trying to double our growth and things like that. So but I guess myself personally, I started using Databricks back in 2016. Prior to that, I was a data architect, and just fell in love with the platform. It solved so many of the problems that I've experienced in my career with respect to data warehouses and data lakes and things like that. And the lakehouse paradigm is amazing, and I just fell in love with it, and I've wanted to do it ever since. And so about 3 years ago, I was introduced to our CEO at Sohini, and we decided we wanted to build a Databricks exclusive practice, a solutions integrator practice, and that's what we've done. So yeah, happy to be here, and yeah, excited to be on this journey with you guys. So
It's amazing, it's the first time I meet someone who used the platform before me because I used it the first time in 2017
yeah,
for my master degree, and I end up joining the company a few years later.
yeah,
So I guess you have seen like how the platform evolved um, like between I don't know 2018 and 2024. So what if you try to reflect in the past, like what would be your comment right now, like regarding how like it's expanded to cover almost everything?
yeah, absolutely. I think early on, obviously, it started out as a Spark platform, and my experience trying to use Spark prior to Databricks. I'm not a Linux guy. I'm not, that's not my, and being able to manage or having to manage infrastructure and networking and all those complexities, whether on premises or even in the cloud, it was just hard for me personally. And so finding, Databricks being, the commitment to being a managed Spark platform initially was very compelling to me. It helped me get across some of the roadblocks that I had personally, and being able to do what I do best on the data side of things, and not have to deal with all the complexities of the infrastructure and so forth. And since that time, early on, I think my first exposure to Databricks was through the MOOC training program. That I think there was some early Spark 2 training that was available, and took that, and it was just so eye opening to me. And again, I had been managing data lakes using Hadoop and things like that, and the complexities of getting, essentially having to override data all over and over again. This is pre-Delta format, things like that. But over time, Databricks has just surmounted every one of the challenges that I've had in my past data platform experiences. And the two that are, I think, most monumental in my experience has been Unity Catalog and investment in the data warehouse, and kind of inventing this lake house paradigm. You know, taking the best of data warehousing and the best of data lakes, and being able to create this unified platform that does everything very, very well. So that's been my experience. It's been amazing. So
And since you mentioned Unity catalog, I am still wondering how we didn't think about it, like I don't know, a few years back. Like we're just I feel like almost all companies didn't care about maybe security aspects. Like yeah, it was
mhm.
important, but not as much as now. And I was like wondering like in the past, like almost everyone had access to the data lake. Almost all of people I worked with were admins. They could do almost everything
Mhm.
compared to now where we try to give like the least privilege possible to make
Right.
sure that, and of course make sure that we have this multi-factor authentication, YubiKeys, and SSO, and like do a lot of like security awareness just to make sure that nothing leaks. And I think on the top of it, we have this UC with the audit logs and system tables that enables you like not only to understand who has access to the data, but when they did access the data. And can you tell us more about I don't know, maybe tell us more about the latest project, Databricks project you worked on, and like why was it maybe challenging? Why was it rewarding? Like enlighten us to know to be on your shoes, in your shoes.
Yeah. Absolutely. As CTO, I don't get to be as hands-on as I used to be, in my past. But we at Cointech we manage a lot of projects, and I would say that our superpowers, if you will, are Unity catalog upgrades and migrations, and Lakehouse build-outs for new customers. And we're also doing quite a bit of Gen AI use cases using Mosaic AI and things like that. But I think so. Most recently, a lot of Unity catalog upgrades. I think a lot of customers are who have been on Databricks prior have needed a little bit of help and assistance getting onto Unity catalog initially and getting migrated to the UC Metastore. And so we can help with that, and we've done quite a few projects involving that. And the other, obviously, as Databricks has gained momentum, everybody is kind of the Lakehouse paradigm is won over, and especially this new data intelligence paradigm as well. And so everybody wants to move to Databricks, and so we're trying to help customers overcome those, the complexities of moving from a legacy cloud data warehouse or an on-premises data warehouse to Databricks through leveraging the AI and the capabilities of the Databricks platform. So those are some of the projects that we've worked on most recently are some of those, like Unity Catalog and migrations, quite a few of those. So.
And since you mentioned like UC migrations, what would be your advice to maybe customers or users who are just like who haven't done it or maybe are on the process of the migration? What would be your advice? Like, should they like how would they process or start the process? Because I know sometimes can be a little bit long to migrate tables, workflows, add maybe the third level namespace. What would be your advice to them?
Yeah, super question. I think obviously we kind of want to do a little bit of design up front. The beauty of Unity Catalog is that it enables you to kind of implement your desired to-be state, whether that's a data mesh, whether that's traditional medallion zones, or maybe you have different business units in your company who want to have isolation by workspace. I love how Unity Catalog you can essentially basically create a purpose-built secure environment for whatever the customer's needs are. You can secure at the workspace level, you can secure at the storage, the storage layer, and of course through the identity groups and things like that. Being able to or organize it appropriately. So I would say, and my advice would be to we have automated assessments. A lot of partners have those types of things. We can come in, quickly assess your environment, and then advise on what the to-be state needs to look like. And then it's not too trivial or not too difficult to configure Unity Catalog. And I think where the work comes in a lot of times is all the legacy workflows and pipelines that need to be upgraded, and of course tables and the code and so forth, and the clusters and compute and things like that. So that's where we can additionally come in through applying accelerators and using the Databricks accelerators such as UCX and others as well.
Yeah, UCX has. I've tested like UCX when it was first released. It was just handling, if I'm not wrong, like migrating groups and tables. And now like I've seen all the things UCX is capable of. I was just like, oh, I mean, it's really simplifying a lot of things, and I would have loved to have this version like maybe 2 years ago.
Correct. Exactly. So yeah, it's impressive. It's the velocity with which the new features and enhancements come out from UCX. It's impressive. Kudos to that team. So
Yeah, I mean, because everything now relies on Unity catalog. If you go, there's like, I think all the features now relies on UC, like whether it's serverless,
yep,
uh, some parts of workflows, online store, feature store, DLT. I mean, I'm pretty. I start thinking it's like almost mandatory to have it. Yeah, you can still work on Hive, but you will just literally just have Spark and manage Spark, and that's it. While UC brings a lot of things, and the good thing is that I don't know if you tried the UC open source. Again, it's just amazing, and I've seen the roadmap. Like now, you can read and write from to external UC tables, and you can read, manage tables, and in the next release, they plan to add the writing from like external engines to
yeah.
manage UC managed tables, and it's just amazing, which means you can literally do everything, like bring DuckDB, I don't know, open source Spark or any other engine supported, and you're good to go.
It, it's incredible. Yeah, I think that's what, as you pointed out, I think Unity Catalog, it unlocks the data intelligence platform, and all the features. If you want to do AI on Databricks, you need Unity Catalog, and I think the thing that it's been amazing to me is that how it breaks down all the silos. Silos has kind of been the theme of my past career. I want to access data in this database or this source system, things like that, but it's kind of a walled garden. I can't get access to it, and through even if I don't want to invest in just ingesting all that data into Databricks, I can federate, and I can Delta share, and so just it's a means of opening up the platform and just widening the universe of all the things that are capable to us. So I think that's an amazing feature. So.
And can you also tell us more about your experience as an MVP? But first, like how did you become an MVP? And then talk about your experience.
Yeah, I think as CTO, I don't get a chance to be quite as hands-on anymore, but I try to be a thought leader both within my company and as, outside as well. I'm kind of new to the podcasting and the web type engagements, but I've been writing lots of blogs and things like that. So that's kind of where I've lived, and obviously doing LinkedIn posts and so forth. But yeah, quite frankly, I think the community of MVPs. There are some ones out there that are my idols, and I don't profess to be at their level at this point, but as you can tell, I'm very, very passionate about the Databricks platform, and I just want to be a champion and advise customers on getting the most value out of it, because it is an amazing platform. So.
And also, I think it's the same question I asked to many, many MVPs, but what would be your recommendation to someone who want to learn like how to use Databricks, or like want to, deep dive on or enhancing the knowledge? What would be
Yep.
the steps according to you?
That's a super question. I think what's worked for me is obviously being maybe blocking out your calendar if you have the ability to do that for an hour a day to read, catch up on blogs. Your Next Gen Lakehouse, for example, the newsletters that come out every month are amazing, and the videos that you guys put out. Keeping up on that, and then putting it into practice would be my recommendation. It's becoming easier, to be able to just spin up a Databricks environment and to download a set of notebooks and be able to test things out yourself and kind of be hands-on. And the combination of those two things, I think, is key. And then just doing that on a regular basis, not just once a week or something like that, but daily. Over time, it's gonna pay dividends, I think.
Yeah, you're totally right, and I think that's how I started, like developing my Databricks knowledge, was just like reading blog posts, reading the Databricks community, like it's technical blog community, technical blog, reading documentation, and of course, I think practicing is very important. It's good to have the knowledge, but you need to practice it, because when you practice, then you're gonna face, I don't know, some problems, some issues, and it will help you understand how the products work. And of course, since almost like, I don't know, maybe around 80% of the tools you're gonna be using are open source, so I'm pretty sure you will find answers in like stuff like Reddit or Stack Overflow, or even you by using ChatGPT or Perplexity or any LLM, you'll be using. I think you have, and I still believe that people who are like maybe graduating now are so lucky because they have so many tools they can leverage. I mean, if I had Perplexity or ChatGPT when I was doing my master's degree, I think I would have nailed it.
Agreed. And just moreover, like the AI assisted development today, like the Databricks assistant, for example, or just using LLMs to help you learn things and to train and to help you even write code. So that's my saving grace. Nowadays I don't get a chance to be hands-on quite as much, but the Databricks assistant comes to the rescue. It helps me remember how to do such and such in Python or PySpark, things like that. So
yeah. I mean, it's super helpful and useful. So no longer need to learn by heart like the APIs. Just like write some random stuff and then ask, hey, can you bring me can you tell me the API I should use here? Yes, of course.
right.
Here we go. And
Yeah, it's incredible.
I
For
also
sure.
I think I've also seen more and more customers asking questions about the FinOps. I mean, how do you handle those kind of topics?
Yeah, so Coine, we've obviously that's another thing that Unity Catalog enables is all the system tables and the visibility and observability into the cost things. And prior to the system tables, there were Databricks audit logs and things like that. And one of the common questions that some of our customers have always had is, I've got my Databricks costs, and of course, but I've also got my underlying hyperscaler, AWS or Azure costs, things like that, and I want to unify them. And of course, that's becoming less of an issue nowadays with serverless, but nevertheless, they want to see an all-up view of that. And so, we've built AIBI dashboards, for example, that will surface all of that and kind of create a single pane of glass that provides observability and also operational dashboards and things like that. So, and I'm not to say that ours are the best, but I know that there are a lot of free and open source ones out there as well. And lots of other MVPs and others have created great observability dashboards. So pick the best ones that you have, and if you want to build your own, it's entirely possible to do that using the system tables in Databricks. So that would be my recommendation. And obviously just keep an eye on it, and then obviously with that you can create alerts, you can create controls on your clusters and things like that, and you can apply some governance. So
Yeah, and I think I'm gonna share with you something I haven't shared before, but I created this notebook before system tables. I was creating some tables from system tables. So basically, I did enable in the past the verbose audit logs in an ADLS, and then I brought autoloader that was bringing the JSON file, and then I put a notebook where I was parsing those JSON to make sure that I create tables. And then I was running those a workflow that triggered those those verbose in a weekly basis. And then I was running a dashboard to see. It was not about the cost, because back in that time I don't think we had the cost, but we had all the activities, who created the notebook, who created the table, and stuff like this. And I think few months later, system tables were announced, and then it's okay, let's just throw those notebooks. Why building things? Why spending compute to run those things? And also make sure that, and it took me time because I had to parse a lot of JSON, make sure to have the right schema. And now they are just there. You don't need to pay anything. They are just available. Just go and query them rather than having to parse them. And now we're also doing, I think, more things because we're bringing now like on the shelves dashboard that you can just deploy to track the cost, like workflows for we're bringing things for the assistant, for marketplace, and we're gonna have a lot of tables, and I'm pretty sure Greg from the Money team will walk us through all those amazing features to have this observability, and who's better than Databricks to monitor Databricks cost, I guess.
Exactly. Yeah, I think to your point, like early on, Databricks had the Overwatch is a great platform, especially if you're a big customer with lots and lots of workspaces and things like that. Being able to centralize your costs and manage that, and I think over time, I'm seeing that some of those Overwatch customers want to move to system tables and kind of modernize their approach, like you just said. So I think that's a common thing, and I really love all the latest. I think I've noticed that as well in the last several months as Databricks is focusing more on FinOps and making sure that Databricks is the most cost-effective platform out there. In addition to being the best. So I think. I'm definitely seeing the improvements. So,
perfect. And any other words before we close the session?
Yeah, I just I think I just really appreciate being on this journey with you guys. I'm really excited about Databricks as a platform, as I've already said, and I think the sky's the limit. And for partners like us, we're very, very passionate about continuing on with you guys, and I'm winning the warehouse and upgrading the Unity catalog and winning GenAI use cases. I think Databricks is by far the best platform out there for being able to do all those things on a single unified governed platform. So thank you very much for having me. So.
Thank you so much, Eddie, for being an amazing guest, and see you soon.
All right. Thank you. Talk to you soon. Bye.